Well, video game movies have been through one hell of a roller coaster. I mean, to think that back in the 80s and 90s, almost no one would be keen on doing a video game movie, and whenever they did, it would mostly end terribly. Doom, terrible. Mortal Kombat sequel, terrible. And even Nintendo themselves attempted a Mario Bros. Movie, and it was terrible. Though once we started getting good TV shows and movies of video games, it started to become more obvious Nintendo wanted to bank on this. The first Mario movie they made $1 billion, and they announced a Zelda movie, a Donkey Kong movie, and most important of all, the reveal for a Mario Bros. Sequel. People were super hyped for the idea of a Mario Bros. Sequel that could fix problems from the first one. Got super hyped. I mean, the idea of a sequel could fix a lot of issues with the initial movie, but also builds up even more stuff. And so, with that little sneak peek at Yoshi being a main character, the next Mario movie would be Galaxy. Well, that was a little confusing. So, a lot of people wouldn't have guessed that Galaxy was one of their picks. They would have expected it at some point, but not for the sequel to the first one. But I actually think that's a good thing. Taking Super Mario 64 or Super Mario World would not have worked, since those plots in those games are way too similar, and it's just, there isn't anything to really distinguish it from the original Mario Bros. But Galaxy was a momentous occasion. It was one of the best Mario games in the series. Heck, even one of the best 3D platformers. But yeah, it kind of made sense, and also I guess that Old Spice collaboration was real. I would never have guessed. But yeah, as soon as the trailer came out, people were hyped for this movie. Rosalina, Bowser Jr., and dear God, did Fox McCloud's reveal blow up. People were all about Smash Bros. This, Star Fox this, I don't know, Mr. Game & Watch the movie. But yeah, people were getting really hyped at the idea of more Nintendo characters being featured, and honestly, I do not blame them. But when it came to the actual movie and what I wanted, well, all I had to do was walk in and see what they were cooking up. Would this be an improvement over the first? Would it be a better movie overall? Or would this end up ruining what the last one had? Well, I walked in with my good pal Bozo, and yeah, actually it was really great. Now, I don't want to spoil anything too much, since I know this movie just came out. I literally watched this on premiere day, and I'm recording it on premiere day, so I'm gonna try and keep spoilers to the absolute bare minimum, but yeah, first impressions, this is a good sequel in all honesty. First things first is the look, and oh my god, does this movie look so nice. I mean, the first movie looked good, but damn, this movie just manages to perfect it really well. The galaxies look so beautiful and grand. The space theming doesn't feel cliched, it feels unique and magical in a way. Genuinely, it looks really good. And that's like a lot of the stuff I really liked. I mean, this movie had some great visual effects with Bowser Jr. and his paintbrush, Rosalina and her magic, or even just shots in space. It looks so nice, and genuinely might be one of my favorite parts. And plus, there's a handful of scenes that feel like they are movie-ified versions of stuff from the games, because it feels like they're playing the game, or they're taking a part in the movie and turning it into an 8-bit styled Mario game in the movie. And honestly, it looks really cool to see, either taking inspiration from the Super Mario Bros. Or Mario World, having a lot of cool moments with like platforming scenes or fighting moments that feel like they're ripped from Smash Bros. It looks really nice. And another thing that I also want to mention is the places they go to, the world that's built around, is more unique than ever. I mean, Mario isn't exactly known for stunning landscapes and variety. He is known for generic stuff like Desert World, Grassy Plains, Snowy Biome, Lava World, and all that jazz. But there's a lot more to it than that. There's a big jungle, there's a flower field, there's a giant space station and stuff, and tons of stuff I can't even mention, but it all feels more vibrant than you'd expect. And even just sound design, this movie felt just as good with it as the first one. Plenty of little sound effects or tracks, remixes from Mario Galaxy and other games. Unlike the first movie, which had a lot of popular licensed songs, this movie had like 2, maybe 3 max. And for the most part, the music is genuinely just Mario Galaxy stuff. Orchestral themes or beats from some of the older games. It felt more Mario than the first movie, which is great. Now, there are a couple things that I do miss about the first movie. First off, I liked Donkey Kong and the Kong Civilization. I do understand that they are going to get a spin-off movie, but I do kind of miss it from the first one. Also, there is no Brooklyn setting, or at least not for long. I'm okay with this. This movie is meant to emulate Mario Galaxy, and the tones are supposed to be different. And this one feels like it really leaned into that magical vibe that Galaxy had. It's meant to feel like a grand space adventure, instead of leaning into the more classic tone of the first movie, and that's okay. And combining those two things that make both the movie and the game feel so special is just amazing.
I am so glad we spent our life savings on this commercial.
That is not a commercial. That is cinema.
What about the accents? Is it too much? Too much? It's perfect. Okay, I'm gonna trust you.
But then there's the characters, and this is both one of the better aspects, but also one of the worst ones in a way. Toad is taking even more of a backseat than the first one, and Mario and Luigi, we get to see more of their dynamic, which is cool, and Luigi is no longer a damsel in distress, so we get to see them bonding and doing good stuff. But at the same time, in terms of plot, these guys are joining Toad at the back of the bus in terms of plot. Meanwhile, Peach ends up taking center stage this time. She gets plenty of her cool girl boss moments, but also more story stuff and more development. Now, obviously, it's not peak writing. I can understand why people would say that. But I do think that giving her more is something the series really needed. Peach is known only as Mario's girlfriend, the damsel in distress. But this movie not only amplifies her girl boss stuff, but also just gives her more story and character moments that feel important. It makes her more of a valuable asset to the team because it brings new dynamics and gives her more of a personality here, which works really well, especially with Rosalina tagging along. Not only does it give Peach some more story stuff, but also the first scene we see her in really emphasizes how her magic is used, and it looks really nice. Like, such a really nice display of animation. Then again, she doesn't have as much screen time as you'd expect. I won't get into that, but it is a little unfortunate. And also worth mentioning, we have Yoshi in this movie, and he has no plot relevance whatsoever, but you gotta love him. Look, I know there has to be some reason for him to be here, or connection, or at least something to make him valuable, but no, he is literally just the dinosaur companion, and I'm not complaining at all. He is not only the funniest part and characterized really well so that he's cute, but he's just so lovable. How could you not love Yoshi? And I have to talk about Star Fox. When this guy got announced only like a little bit before the release date, people were immediately going, Smash Brothers movie, like I said earlier. And I was honestly pretty excited to see because it wasn't just him getting put in this movie. And I don't want to reveal too much, but like stuff like seeing Pikmin and Fox in the movie was cool to see because it felt like they were not only just building more Mario stuff, but even other Nintendo IPs. Not just cameos or references, but more. And that was really cool to see, and I cannot wait to see what they do with Star Fox later down the line. Now, I do need to talk about Bowser and Bowser Jr. And damn, their dynamic is just, it's so comedic and enjoyable, and it just works really well. Like, it's simple, but it works. It's just, Bowser was a terrible dad, but like, Bowser Jr. still loves him and is just as evil as him. It was practically a match made in heaven. The two are born to destroy the universe. Also, I have to mention this, but Bowser Jr. was done well to the point I didn't find him annoying. In the games, he's just kind of an annoying child, but in this case, I actually kind of liked him. He was a bit more enjoyable and less a pain in the ass, which is great because in the game. And I don't know if Bozo was annoyed by this, but I just could not help myself from pointing out stuff I'm seeing. Like, oh, this song is from Mario Galaxy. Oh, this sound effect is from this part in some game. Oh my god, it's the thing from the thing in the thing. And I think that's probably one of the best parts about these Mario movies. Finding the Easter eggs, references, all the new characters, even small ones. Like, I would never expect Nintendo to even mention Wart, let alone give him a role. But yeah, Nintendo really did pull out all the stops. Other Nintendo characters, plenty of parts from the Mario universe, and it just works so well. And damn, this cast, I gotta say, I think the reception was much better. People still struggle with the idea of Chris Pratt as Mario. Jack Black as Bowser is always great, and a couple extras, but this one had some good stuff too. I think the actor for Bowser Jr. works well since he does sound like a younger version of Jack Black's Bowser. And Donald Glover as Yoshi might just be one of the most baffling casting moments I've ever seen in a long time. It's like if they had Kirby voiced by John Wick. But obviously, the main takeaway for this is that this is so obviously for the fans, and I'm grateful for that. It's not meant to be a critically acclaimed, Oscar-winning movie. I mean, the weakest area in the first movie was that the story was a bit generic at times, and the weakest area here, I'd say, is that the story didn't feel all that fleshed out. But again, Mario is not known for story, or at least interesting ones. In fact, Miyamoto himself basically actively doesn't want story in his games. And I guess that's not the worst thing, since games, you need the game part to be good first. But I don't know, story would be important, I guess. But it doesn't need to be. I mean, I think Rosalina could have got a little bit more time. I think that we could have got a bit more with Mario and Luigi instead of them just being kind of there. But it's only small nitpicks that it's like it's only the inner critic that's upset with this. The fan? Oh boy, the fan in me is so grateful for this movie. I cannot help but just point out all the little details I see. Genuinely, it is a perfect use of the source material. Because not only does it do a good job of taking from various other games and taking plenty of inspiration from Mario Galaxy, this manages to take so much stuff from what I want from a Mario movie, and genuinely, this is one of my more preferred video game movies. Dare I say, one of my favorites. Because it's made for the fans, uses source material, and takes some of the best aspects from one of my favorite Mario games. Now, obviously, I would love to hear your opinions in the comments, and again, if you enjoyed this video and you like my content, then please hit the subscribe button. It would mean so much to me, and thank you all for watching the video. And I will see you all next time. Woohoo!